company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, two persons detained for Saturday night's shooting of Pedro Molina and Luis Buchanan. Turmoil in the sugar industry. BSI ASR objects to new regulations stipulated by Cabinet for the importation and exportation of sugar. The company is considering challenging the regulations. And we take you to an apiary where we learn what it takes to venture into the beekeeping and honey production industry. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, May 16th, 2023.
Special guest in the audience tonight, legendary record executive, Mr. Clive Davis.
My voice is gone.
What?
You start the show tonight. No talking back. I'm your mother.
There's a boy I know. He's the one I dream of.
What's your name again?
Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
Wait, God, it's on. It's on. Listen.
How will I know if he really loves me?
My dream, sing what I want to sing, be how I want to be.
I say a prayer with every heartbeat.
Reach as big an audience as I can.
Common criticism of you, your music isn't black enough.
Look, I don't know how to sing black, and I don't know how to sing white either. I know how to sing.
I might have just heard the greatest voice of her generation.
Maybe.
Maybe. It's got to have a hook.
A hook?
Yeah.
I'll give it a hook.
And now, the hottest match of the evening. Get ready for action! Here they come. Amazing. They're unstoppable, unbeatable. They have them on the ropes. The heat rises to the top. 1, 2, and 3.
They're on fire. Chiladas.
Fire up the taste of Belize with the new Chiladas crunchy tortilla taco chips in its hot chili flavor. Fiery habanero brings the heat.
They're on fire. Chiladas.
From Snackers, done right, done here.
I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real. Something that they could see and touch.
Humans and dinosaurs can't coexist. We created an ecological disaster.
Ellie Sattler.
Alan Grant.
You didn't come out all this way just to catch up now, did you?
You coming or what?
That's another plane, right?
Not exactly.
Don't move.
That'll be $50. Thank you. Wait, hey, this 50 is a fake.
How do you know it's a fake?
What are you talking about, sir? How can I identify a genuine note from a fake note?
Well, a genuine 50 has a watermark with the Jaguar and the written words of the 50, also a thread.
Know your money and know a fake one when you see it. Do not rely on any one security feature. Look for the clarity and quality of printing. The printed lines and colors should be sharp and clear. Feel the quality of the paper and the raised print. Hold the note up to the light to see the windowed security thread. It should form one complete line when held up to the light. The watermark and denominational electrotype. The Jaguar is the watermark in the $100 and $50 notes. The Sleeping Giant is the watermark in the $20, $10, $5, and $2 notes. The see-through feature. The parts of the design printed on the back should fit exactly within the unprinted areas of the front to form the complete design. Check the $100 note for the toucan hologram with the periwinkle flower overprint. Tilt it to see the small images of the toucan and the numeral 100. Check the $50 note for the green foil angelfish. Check even closer. Use an ultraviolet light to see the fluorescent features. Use a magnifier to see the microlettering. Tiny letters that read Central Bank of Belize and the value of the note. Stop the circulation of counterfeit Belize currency notes. Pass all counterfeits to the police at once. It is a criminal offense to hold or use a counterfeit. Be safe. Be sure. Know your money.
Evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Last week, Prime Minister John Briceño announced Cabinet's decision to seek enforcement to the application process for sugar exportation within the Sugar Act. These regulations require persons wanting to export or import sugar to hold a valid license, which is to be issued by the SICB. This came following concerns raised by the BSAFA, who are at odds with Tate and Lyle over fair trade premiums, which their members have not yet received for sugarcane delivered and sold during the 2021-2022 crop season, as well as the current 2022-2023 crop season. For context, we replay the interview with the Prime Minister.
What Cabinet has decided is that under the Sugar Industry Act of 2001, there is an application process for the exportation of sugar, and it requires the exporter, and at that time there was only one, which was BSI, but now you have Santander. So now it's important more than ever for us to be able for there to be full accountability as to the sugar, as to where it's being sold and to who it's going to be sold to. And so that's what now this mechanism is going to do, we're enacting that part of the mechanism, but with one change, that the Minister Mai has recommended to Cabinet that instead of him signing, which is already on the Act, he's going to empower the Sugar Control Board, the Belize Sugar Control Board, or what we refer to as the Sugar Board, for them to be able to sign the export licenses.
Some of the requirements needed to qualify for a license which is valid for 1 year includes that the applicant must disclose copies of import or export contracts which indicate the specific purpose for which the license is being applied for and which specifies the period within which operations are to take place. Also, where the applicant enters into a contract to sell certified sugar, the applicant shall also disclose when making an application for a license a detailed report of the total amount of certified sugar or other derivatives of sugar cane contracted to be sold for each transaction of exporting sugar, and any premiums or benefits due to each certified producer according to the volume of production of sugar cane delivered by each certified producer. And while those are only some of the requirements, it seems that government's decision has raised BSI ASR's eyebrows, who today issued a press release objecting to the new regulations. In their release, BSI ASR states, and we quote, "These new regulations gave the government controlled SICB inordinate and disproportionate power to intervene with the routine operations of a private sector business, such as deciding whether it is a business in good standing and whether it should be issued with an annual license to export sugar," end quote. The release adds the disclosure requirements to obtain these licenses are unduly intrusive, unreasonable, disproportionate, and harmful to BSI's commercial interest. These requirements are not seen in any other industry in Belize. In fact, sugar remains one of a handful of exports that requires a permit for exportation, end quote. In ending, BSI says that it is examining its options and is considering challenging the validity of the regulations. The new regulations are expected to be gazetted at the next sitting of the House of Representatives this coming Friday. Late this evening, the opposition United Democratic Party issued a release condemning the new sugar industry regulations. In their release, the UDP states that it does not believe that this new regulation is a good move for the sustainability of the sugar industry at this time. The UDP says laws and regulations should only be implemented after robust consultations where consensus is built. The release adds, and we quote, "The UDP demands the Bresenio government reverse course and implement regulations that foster an enabling environment for cañeros and investors." Yesterday, we told you about a shooting incident that was registered according to police briefing in the wee hours of Saturday morning here in Orange Walk. It happened on Mahogany Street about 2 a.m. At the scene, police found 2 men with gunshot injuries. Both victims were immediately transported to the Northern Regional Hospital for urgent medical attention. The injured individuals are 41-year-old Pedro Molina and 48-year-old Luis Ucan. Molina was shot to his left elbow and Ucan was shot to his upper left thigh and upper right thigh. We made checks this evening and have confirmed that 2 male individuals were arrested in connection with the compounded shooting and beatdown incident. Credible reports confirm that the duo arrested are from Orange Walk and are facing a charge of attempted murder and are scheduled to appear in the Orange Walk Magistrates Court tomorrow. The men had recently returned to Molina's residence after spending a night out at a popular local nightclub in town. But when they got to Molina's residence, 2 male individuals approached them from the backyard. One of the assailants took out a gun and the other made approach with a metal pipe in hand. The men then engaged in a heated verbal exchange. Pedro Molina identified one of the attackers as a person with whom he had a misunderstanding earlier at the nightclub. The assailant fired shots at Molina and Ucan. The second assailant repeatedly struck Molina on the head and face with the metal pipe, leaving him incapacitated. Our next story is about beekeeping and honey production. Getting a bottle of honey at your nearest supermarket is the easiest part of the industry. How the beekeepers get the bottled product on the shelf is another matter. In our next story, reporter Elmer Cornejo and camera operator Luis Alcacer traveled to the entrance of San Lazaro with apiarist Andre Garcia and National Honey and Beekeeping Coordinator Miguel Huertas from the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise to carry out an inspection at an apiary that was threatened by fire, and also took time out to divulge into the process of beehive inspection.
What is in the boxes? It is a valid question if you have never been to an apiary, a place where beehives are kept and managed by an apiarist or beekeeper as we know them. Beekeeping is one of the oldest hobbies in the world, and some beekeepers hive bees for fun, while for others, it is a serious occupation and business. But have you ever wondered what all it takes to produce the sweet honey that we utilize daily, or even the dangers that an apiarist goes through? With the assistance of representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture, today we engaged in a beekeeping inspection exercise.
Today we're coming to inspect my dad's beehive, and we're actually new on this, and we'll see how it will be going on today. Mi papá ha sido le anda gustando mucho de haciendo los de abejas. Su hobby de él siempre ha sido interested en abejas, y él calificó para un proyecto de Agriculture Department. Él tuvo un accidente, y como no queríamos que él, como sabemos que él es lo que él le ha gustado, pues nos decidimos, pues yo y entre mi hermana, a comenzar y seguir el proyecto. Él empezó con cinco en cuadros, y de ahí nosotros fuimos agarrando y conseguimos 5 más. La primera cosa que uno debe de antes que entre a un apiario es siempre estar bien equipada con algo, con un net bien puesto, un suit, y siempre entrar con un smoker, porque cuando entras adentro nunca sabes realmente cómo están las abejas, y el proceso es siempre, aunque tengas esto, te vas a tener unos piquetes, pero ese es el proceso de siendo una abeja y viendo lo que hay adentro.
In Belize, the European honeybee Apis mellifera is managed in man-made hives. That is exactly what Andrea Garcia and her family owns. Unfortunately, 3 weeks ago, the location of the apiary was affected by a wild bush fire, and today the mission is to carry out an inspection to verify if relocation is an option or if all steps can be taken. Garcia can make that decision with the technical guidance of an officer who is located in each district.
Today we are at Andrea Garcia's apiary, where we are trying to see what is the situation with their apiary. Unfortunately, they had an incident where fire burnt most of the vegetative areas that were around this area. And she has mentioned previously that her last visit was 3 weeks ago, and she saw a decrease in the honey production. However, today we are doing an inspection to see what is the best decisions to do when it comes to the production of this apiary. One of them, since most of the vegetative has been lost, it is to relocate the apiary. But we want to see if we can possibly do one harvest, and to see when is the best option to relocate the apiary. What Ministry of Agriculture does to beekeepers is assist in technical advice, and any problem with pest disease situation whenever it comes to relocating apiaries, where is the best site to locate an apiary, where that is where we come in.
In a natural setting, it is rare to find more than 2 honeybee colonies within a square mile of land. Beekeepers often keep many more hives in one location. Apiary is an industry term, which in this case is accurate since Garcia's main purpose is to multiply bees. 2 weeks ago, she came across a hive in a burnt sugarcane field and decided to transfer the hive to her apiary in what is considered the peak period for bee reproduction.
What we have here is a nuke box. This was captured by Miss Andrea, and she brought it to the apiary. One of the things we need to make sure to see if we have seen the queen in here already, so we need to see if she's laying, so we can check on the laying patterns. And if you can notice in here, we can see a 1-day egg. This, if we can see inside the cells, we can see that there is a 1-day egg. That is saying that the queen has laid already. The queen has a capacity to lay up to 20,000 eggs per day. All we need to do to this is wait until this is only a 4-frame colony. We can add one more frame here, so this will be turned to a 5. Once this is growing to a size, we can move to a complete box, and then add more frames until it is 10 frames. It is a complete colony.
From earliest times, beekeepers learned that having hives in one enclosed area makes feeding of bees, inspection of hives, and the gathering of honey more manageable.
This is a double colony where we can see on this frame they have been storing honey. There is larvae and we can see eggs as well. So it's looking good. Besides the fire that occurred, we can still see that the bees are foraging, they are working, they are very active, and we can see that honey is being stored. This is a frame with mature honey. When we see that it is sealed, it indicates that it is mature honey. You can see how the honey is. Besides the accident that has occurred in this area. This indicates, whenever it is sealed, this indicates that it is a mature honey. Where the humidity or the moisture content for this honey on this section might be 17, 18. But on these other sections, that it is not sealed as yet, it is not mature as yet. So they will go along sealing while it's maturing. The colony inside here has a temperature 37, 35, 37 degrees. So they need to maintain that temperature in order to mature the honey and the larvae to be alive. If that temperature changes, like in a lower temperature or higher temperature, the probabilities are that the larvae might die. So the bees are the only ones who have a thermo regulatory system that they can control the temperature in their colony. If it is too hot, they use water as vapor to control the temperature. And if it is too cold, they ventilate to maintain that temperature as well. Around here, bees have a tendency to store propolis. And what is propolis? Propolis is this that we can see here on the cover, which as a beekeeper, we can harvest and do a product, and it is a propolis. You can do propolis spray, you can do a tincture, you can do candies, you can do honey propolis, you can do many products, facial creams with the use of this product. These are bees collect for the reason or the purpose to protect their colonies from any disease or any pest that been affecting their colony.
Today, Garcia is happy to have ventured into the beekeeping world and is grateful for the assistance rendered by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise.
Ahorita estamos viendo como comenzamos con mis tajuetas, vimos que están yendo bien y nosotros estamos, nos metas de nosotros es llegar a 20 y queremos ir progresando en un poco más y pues mostrándole a mi papá que y viéndolo de lo que él le gusta y seguir y a pesar del ministerio y para que nos tengan ayuda. Y si alguien realmente está interesado en ello, puede visitar al Agriculture Department y ellos los pueden asistir y decir más de ello, qué es, cómo se trabaja y todo.
The end result of the inspection is that while the fire swept through the location of the apiary, the bees were not harmed in any way. The queen bees laying eggs and honey production is well in par with the number of bees in the apiary. The hive will be relocated once the honey is harvested. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
Minister of Transport, Youth and Sports Ralwell Ferguson has a new CEO. She is no other than Adele Katsim Sanchez, who was the CEO for Youth, Sports and Culture under the United Democratic Party, but is now working under the Bressani administration. Previous disagreements and a memo for reporting to the minister when expenditures exceeded $5,000 made the relationship between Ferguson and his former CEO, Marconi Leal Jr., went sour, leading to Leal being reassigned as CEO at the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs. Today, Ferguson told the media how he plans to work with his new CEO.
I appreciate her coming Number one, she's very experienced, and she understands the whole public sector system. So that makes life easier for myself. When we started initially, the farmer CEO maybe come from BTL, never understand maybe the public sector system. But when she come in right away, she understand, and she said this is what we're supposed to do, and we understand each other. So I really believe that myself and Ms. Adele will have a good working relationship for the betterment of the ministry.
While the leader of the opposition, Shine Barrow, is of the opinion that the government had to go looking into the UDP camp to find someone suitable for the position, Ferguson says that is far from the truth.
I don't know how you classify her if she's a PUP or a UDP. I know she's an experienced person.
She is a former UDP CEO.
It doesn't matter. Under the previous PUP administration, there were also people classified to be UDP CEO. But once you get the job done.
No pushback from like the other, your other colleagues and so that you are getting I mean, it has happened before, but.
No, but I give the Prime Minister his due process. He told me, he said, Radwell, at midterm in office, you can't bring in a new CEO who is green to the system. So I will find somebody who is already experienced, so right away we'll get the ball rolling. So I think so far, no kickback. We have a very good relationship, we understand each other, and we are going forward.
Coming up next, climate change. We'll tell you about its effects to the sugar industry. Stay tuned.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Come on!
When hungry or craving, when laughter or tears, enjoy the best snacking or flavors are here. Asadas, bocadas, chiladas, doradas, delicious for snacking, done right and done here.
Done right, done here.
Something's been bothering me a little. I have done all the things a wife is supposed to do. The house, the meals. Where is the payback? I'm very attracted to you.
Oh.
Would you be interested in having an affair? You two just looked at each other like you got a secret. I just don't want anybody to get hurt.
What's your dream wedding?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll go first. I would wear something
really cute, you know? Just festive. But not like white or bridal, because you gotta keep them guessing.
You gotta keep them guessing.
And I would walk down the aisle to the song Gloria by Laura Branigan. And of course, in my childhood, I dreamed that I would fly her in to sing it. But now, I have you.
Oh, Joel, you can't touch Branigan.
You can touch Branigan.
No Barbara, no Judy, no Branigan.
Come on.
Gloria, Gloria,
Oh.
I think they've got your number. Gloria, I think they've got the alias. Gloria, that you've been living under, but you really don't remember. Was it something that they said? All the voices in your head calling Gloria. Shake 'em, Gloria, Gloria. I think I got your number, Gloria.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
Students and children are important to us. That's why Mayor Lodrick Shepherd and your Orange Walk Town Council have started the construction of a new sidewalk that starts at the gate of Marvel's College and will go all the way into Tate Street, passing in front of Chapel School. This will keep children out of vehicular danger, making the area a child-friendly zone. We will continue to create infrastructure to safeguard our children. We will continue to work for you and with you, because only together progress continues.
The negative effects of climate change on farming communities over the last few years have undoubtedly forced a shift in the agro-productive sector to take on new methods and practices in farming. This is the same in the sugar industry here in the north, which has been greatly affected by the effects of climate change since 2018. Today, representatives of the Belize Sugar Industries BSI-ASR visited our morning show to share some of the effects seen within the industry, which has experienced episodes of severe drought and floods in the last couple of years. These changes, according to BSI-ASR, has extended lasting effects within the industry, which is now experiencing poor cane production in various areas across the north.
Estamos viendo estos retos desde 2018, 2019 tuvimos una zafra muy similar a este, fantástico en cuanto a la seca para cosechar caña. Para cosechar caña es ideal porque no hay lodo, los tractores y los camiones y las alzadoras pueden entrar bien en el campo, no se está usando mucha maquinaria para jalar la caña. Entra a la fábrica con mucho menos lodo que cuando está lloviendo, y la fábrica tiene ese potencial de moler esa caña. Estamos viendo, en realidad, la fábrica está moliendo muy bien, como pueden ver los cañeros, y realmente está demostrando la capacidad que tiene cuando tiene las condiciones y la caña en cuanto a la molienda, ¿no? La molienda en 24 horas, por ejemplo, esta semana estuvo en un promedio de 7,110. Entonces, un poquito más del 7,000. Hasta el momento, por lo general, está a 6,500, un poquito más que eso, que es el promedio del año, considerando un poco de lost time y cuestiones así. Entonces, pero estamos viendo el impacto de la sequía que hubo en 2019 hasta ahora también. porque la caña, bueno, no creció en ese entonces de la sequía a 2020, a 2020. En esa zafra estábamos viendo caña bastante pequeña, no era su tamaño regular, porque la caña no creció. Y este año que pasó, al finalizar la zafra, estábamos viendo bastante flood o inundación en áreas particulares. Y el flooding o la inundación, en este caso, a veces hasta mata la caña de la raíz para arriba. Y en estos momentos estamos viendo bastante de que la caña está bastante afectada, y claro que cuando está afectada la caña, entra menos caña a la fábrica. Estamos viendo mucho lo que le llamamos out of kin lost time. Para la fábrica eso es crítico, porque no podemos estar parando esta máquina tan grande y comenzando de nuevo. Solo en el weekend antepasado, el antepasado, tuvimos un lost time de out of kin o fuera de caña de 11 horas. Y cuando eso sucede, pues sabemos que hay algo que está pasando. O sea, no tenemos la caña, o hay un poco de retos con coordinación y entrega.
While the dry weather being experienced this year is ideal for delivering cane, it may not be the best situation for farmers who are advised to remain ahead of the situation.
Tenemos algunos otros cañeros pidiendo apoyo ya en la área de mechanical harvesting, cosecha mecanizada, y sí queremos tratar de entrar a apoyar a algunos cañeros, pero mechanical harvesting o cosecha mecanizada tiene bastantes criterios también. Exacto. Igual como el personal. La caña mecanizada, cosecha mecanizada, tenemos que tener los campos adecuados para eso. Y en estos momentos vamos a ver este reto hasta el futuro. Entonces realmente tenemos que ver qué son esas maneras creativas en tratar de no solo ver otras opciones, pero también mejorar ciertas cosas en el campo para mejorar los campos realmente para los cortadores, porque los cortadores quieren buena caña, ¿verdad? Ellos quieren cortar buena caña. Tenemos que ver las condiciones de labores del cortador, darle oportunidad de lo que se llama shade and rest, porque ahorita el calor está bastante fuerte. Exacto. Entonces hay que ver las maneras de poder darle oportunidad al cortador de descansar un momento y así empezar a producir un poquito más durante el día, ¿no? Entonces, esas son algunas observaciones que hemos hecho, lo estamos platicando con los líderes de las asociaciones, y realmente queremos motivar a todos, a los líderes de grupo, cortadores, a los camioneros, de qué manera, de qué forma podemos ver de que salga toda la caña.
Due to changes in the pattern of delivery to the sugar factory, that is, of the past few days, BSI ASR decided to do a flyover study of the different cane producing areas to determine the quality and amount of cane available for the remainder of the season.
El aerial observation, vemos que San Narciso, San Esteban, San Lorenzo, San Lázaro tiene la mayoría de caña siempre parado, y las otras áreas tienen un poco menos. Entonces vemos que hay un poco de ese imbalance en cuanto a la cantidad por área, y bueno, es un poquito de preocupación porque pues estas áreas van a necesitar más ayuda, y esa es la petición realmente. Cuando tenemos la reunión, hemos tenido una reunión con los líderes de las asociaciones y con el SCPC para saber más o menos, bueno, cuánta caña queda para cosechar y qué son los retos.
Y los retos realmente, como los cañeros explican, bueno, tienen más labor shortage o
falta de personal para
falta
trabajar.
de personal y en realidad tenemos cambio climático más caliente. Entonces los cortadores tienden a producir un poquito menos. Por eso es importante, estamos platicando todas estas estrategias con los líderes y buscando en realidad maneras creativas de seguir una zafra bajo las condiciones que tenemos y suplir realmente lo que hay en el campo. Sería una lástima realmente dejar caña cuando las condiciones del clima están ideal para la cosecha y tenemos la capacidad en la fábrica para molerlo.
And while these challenges are very real for cane farmers across the north, there is little that can be done in the short term except for working together to achieve maximum cane delivery before the start of the rainy season, which normally marks the end of the crop season.
Para ahorita, tenemos que empezar para ahorita una curita para completar esta zafra aquí, porque ahí los retos que Oliva explicó, que son grandes, no creo que podamos buscar la solución aquí ahorita y podamos buscar unas pues para intentar de resolver algo temporal. Una de las cosas que se puede hacer es para los grupos que ya están para completar la entrega de ellos, se puede juntar recursos entre todos para enfocar y concentrar el recurso, los cortadores, los alzadores, camiones, para sacar la caña que quedamos para no desperdiciar el buen precio que tenemos aquí. Ahora, viendo en el futuro, en adelante, sí necesitamos revisar nuestro sistema de cosecha, de entrega, porque eso la forma en cómo está estructurado nos pone muy, muy caro. Nuestro cosecha es más que mitad del precio de caña que se recibe. Si pueden buscar formas para reducir esto, eso es más dinero en el bolsón.
Exacto.
Se puede modificar cuando se entrega, en vez de tener, tal vez me estoy adelantando aquí, pero en vez de tener todos entregando cada día, para que nos toca cada 7 días para entregar, pero cuando te toca cada 7 días es un volumen mayor y ahora ya puedes ir explotando el recurso que tiene. Con BSI, con las cosechadoras que tenemos, no está cosechando al máximo que puede. Tampoco las alzadoras que tenemos y los productores que tienen están operando a un 10% de la capacidad. Imagínese, estás invirtiendo en un equipo que es carísimo, 70,000, 80,000 para un equipo, y lo tienes un equipo operando al 10% de su capacidad. Eso no es, ¿cómo vas a pagar esa deuda? Si lo puedes tener un equipo trabajando por lo menos al 50% de la capacidad, ahora estás generando más ingresos, tienes más ingresos también para la familia, para los cortadores y también para el servicio al banco. Y hay que ver de esa manera holística una revisión, empezando, como dices, de cero, a ver cómo es que podamos implementar unas soluciones innovativas para mejorar nuestra cosecha.
In the long term, however, experts say farmers must invest in smart agriculture, including resistant varieties and even resilient soil types, to ensure that the sugar industry can withstand the negative effects of climate change.
En el 2018-2019, cuando tuvimos la sequía, eso nos impactó en la siguiente zafra. ¿Y qué pasó? No teníamos suficiente caña para entregar. Y se demoró el tiempo de entrega hasta enero, y desde ahí estamos en este ciclo de enero entrando en junio de la zafra, y eso nos presenta varios problemas. Uno es, para finalizar la zafra, estamos jugando en el lodo porque hay bastante lluvia, que los cortadores ya están cansados, el equipo ya están cansados, y nos cuesta bastante para sacar esa caña. Y además de esto, cosechando la caña abajo de esas condiciones nos daña el campo para la siguiente producción del siguiente zafra. Y esto nos reduzca nuestra productividad en esos campos que se cosechan en el último tercio. En el siguiente zafra, en el 2020, fue el año más lluvioso. Nos fuimos de una sequía, a donde nos cayó 35% menos de lluvia, a un año que fue el más húmedo. Nos podemos ver ahí claramente el impacto del cambio climático, de un año al otro, de un extremo al otro. Y estamos viviendo en esas épocas aquí ahorita. Y la industria es 99% temporal. Estamos muy expuestos a las condiciones climáticas, a los elementos que encontramos cada zafra. Entonces tenemos que intervenir y implementar prácticas, climate smart practices, manteniendo nuestra humedad cuando no tenemos humedad, manteniendo nuestros drenajes cuando hay exceso de humedad y siempre estar preparado para esos tipos de condiciones. La otra que quisiera agregar es para estas, ahorita estamos entrando en una sequía y conocemos eso. Estamos entrando en la fenómeno Niño. ¿Qué es la fenómeno Niño? Eso está más asociado con una sequía, con condiciones más secas. Entonces estamos saliendo aquí de ahorita que está seco, los retoños que vienen, que ya se cosecharon, necesitan la humedad y hay altas probabilidades que no vamos a conseguir suficiente humedad para producir suficiente caña para la siguiente zafra. Y hay que poner un ojo en eso. La literatura ahorita no coincide en qué tan intenso sería la fenómeno niño para esta temporada, pero conocemos que estamos entrando en una sequía y hay que poner el
Despite
ojo.
the major challenges being experienced within the sugar industry due to climate change, the 2022-2023 sugar crop season continues in full swing in the hopes of meeting its target production of over 1 million tons of sugar delivered to the mill. With only a few weeks left in the season, cane farmer relations for BSI-ASR Olivia Aviles says the season is looking hopeful, with the overall target being to grind every stalk of cane available in the fields.
Realmente todo depende de la caña que hay disponible para moler, ¿verdad? Hasta el momento hemos molido 856,560 hasta esta mañana, que es bastante bueno, más de 60% de la zafra. Esperamos que haya, bueno, ya vimos que hay un poco de caña más en las diferentes áreas y esperamos que realmente se pueda sacar esa caña para terminar. En términos de azúcar, hemos producido más de 89,000 toneladas de azúcar. El TCTS, como cañeros ven, estamos a 9.5. La calidad no está tan buena como en otros años, pero también efectos de los impactos, sequía, plagas, flood. También estamos haciendo realmente una zafra un poquito más joven, porque el año pasado comenzamos una zafra 2-3 semanas atrasados y eso también tiene un efecto en la calidad de caña. También de estos más de 89,000 toneladas, hemos hecho más de 35,000 toneladas de Demerara Sugar, y de raw sugar más de 45,000 toneladas. Ya hicimos también Plantation White, más de 8,900 toneladas. Regularmente de Plantation White hacemos como 10,000 toneladas por ahí. Estamos bastante avanzados con ese tema de Plantation White, porque sabemos que ese azúcar es que se consume aquí en Belice. Y tenemos que ver que tengamos eso, pero sí un poquito de preocupación por llegar a las toneladas de azúcar estimado, porque eso da mucha influencia al precio de caña. Entonces esperamos que toda la caña pueda salir lo que hay, ¿no? Porque estando overkin sería un crimen dejarlo.
The Minister of Sports, Honorable Rodwell Ferguson, was elected president of the Consequate Sports Council for Central America on May 4, 2023, while he was in Colombia, where he attended an event held by the Regional Sports Council organization. Consequate is the regional body that organizes sports at the youth level in the Caribbean, Colombia, and Venezuela, and the entire Central America. In a 5-2 vote, Ferguson secured the presidency. Minister Ferguson says he looks forward to using this opportunity to bring benefit to sports in Belize and Central America during his 2-year tenure.
I was surprised that I was elected because it was an election, and then we are the smallest country in the region, the only English-speaking country in the region. So when I was nominated by Nicaragua, I summoned I offer myself for defeat. And to my dismay, I won 5-2. And then only Honduras and Guatemala voted against me, and Guatemala had their own reason why they voted against Belize. And so I'm now the president of CONSACADE for Central America, and also the vice president of CONSACADE for the Americas. So while Panama holds the national presidency for the Americas, I'm the vice president for the entire Americas. And it's a big challenge, it's a big responsibility, but I'm not afraid of it. So right away, as I came back and I needed to talk to my counterparts in different countries, I really developed an app to figure out how we can raise money to assist sports in Central America. And it's a simple app. The part, you say you will contribute maybe $1 US a month. You're talking now of a market of over 250 million people, not only 400,000 people, including Mexico. So if 100 million just give $1, that's $100 million for the region. So I'm hopeful when I present it to my colleagues and my counterparts, they will say, this is something that is doable. Let's do it.
The presidency for the entire Central American region was then given to Belize alongside Jamaica, which became the president of the entire Caribbean, and Venezuela for the entire southern region. All three newly elected presidents became vice presidents of the entire region and will serve under Panama, which holds the presidency over all regions combined. As we told you in our prior story, bees have been humans' best friend in pollinating fruit, trees, and flowers in our world. But bees are being threatened by climate change directly as a result in environmental conditions which comprise the quality of honey. Today we squared the question to Miguel Huertas, the National Honey and Beekeeping Coordinator. How does climate change impound harshly on bee and honey production, and what could the future look like? Here is how he broke down his response.
One of the effects that we have seen for the past years is climate change. We have seen unpredictable weathers. We have seen droughts, very prolonged droughts, and rainfall, too much rainfall in one single night or one single week. That is an effect that we can see now. We are in a drought period, and then we can see that many vegetative areas have been burned down, and this is one of them where if we go to literature or into facts, bees pollinate 3 to 5 kilometers within the apiary, and if most of that vegetative area is no longer vegetative, being like they are not flowering, so where will the bees forage? One of the things that we have been working whenever it comes to climate change, directly it has been affecting in the flowering. We have seen 2 weeks flowering and the other 2 weeks no flowering. So we can see the nectar being deposited on the combs. But after the next visit, we have seen bees consuming that nectar. So the production that the beekeeper might have had 10 years ago, it's completely different. They might have been harvesting 60 pounds per colony, but now if it's 20, 35, it is too much. So we need to do an assessment to see what is the impact it has been doing. What we have been suggesting to mitigate the climate change is to use shallow boxes. If you can see at the back, we have triple boxes, double boxes, single boxes, or even new, because this is a new apiary and the beekeeper is trying to not to go on the honey production but to multiply its apiary. So whenever it comes to the honey production part now, we are advising beekeepers to use shallow boxes, which if you see the third on the top, it is a super and it's a complete super. But to mitigate climate change, we're using half only, because the reason is when the bees collect the nectar, they deposit, and they don't need to deposit the complete box, but just the shallow. So it is a shorter period for them to full and to have the honey mature.
But finding solutions in an ever-changing world can be difficult. Parters spoke about some immediate interventions that can be put to practice in order to save the bees that are depleting yearly. Executive Director of Beltrade, Dr. Leroy Almendares, is among 60 senior-level government, business, policy, and economic decision-makers from 20 countries across the Americas who are attending the Americas Competitiveness Exchange ACE. The exchange is being held from May 14 to May 19, 2023, and grants participants a first-hand look at the Greater Seattle, Washington region's economic, innovation, and entrepreneurship ecosystem. Puget Sound Regional Council, PSRC, is hosting ACE Greater Seattle in partnership with the Washington State Department of Commerce. The program was developed in collaboration with Greater Seattle Partners, GSP, under the guidance of the Organization of American States, OAS, United States Economic Development Administration, EDA, International Trade Administration, and Department of State. The delegates will meet with leaders from established and emerging economic sectors to explore the region's dynamic and inventive sectors, including information technology, aerospace, space, maritime, higher education, life sciences, and global health. Additionally, Microsoft will invite the group to their Redmond campus to discuss AL and cloud platform technology. Participants will also attend a reception hosted by Chateau's St. Michel, and Woodinville, Wine County, to highlight Washington's thriving viniculture industry. The University of Washington, Seattle, and Tacoma will showcase technology innovation, education opportunities, and efforts to accelerate adoption of clean energy technology. Boeing will also host the group for a tour of their Everett factory facility, followed by a discussion of the public-private partnership that has led to commercial aviation success at Snohomish County Payne Field Airport. The Saquamish tribe will share about tribal revitalization efforts at the House of Awakened Culture Community Center. The Port of Tacoma will host a boat tour of the waterfront focused on supply chain and logistics, and the Port of Seattle will facilitate a discussion on aviation sustainability technology. Amazon will facilitate a discussion about Amazon Web Services and innovation in the Americas and will invite the delegation to the Amazon Spheres for a closing ceremony to solidify collaboration fostered throughout the week. Dr. Almendares stated that ACE gives Belize an opportunity to explore partnerships that can derive mutually beneficial outcomes, to discuss, learn, adopt, and customize where necessary methodologies and programs that can lead to economic development. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, May 17th, here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at ctv3newsbz. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.